Ladies and gentlemen, if you're Rahul Gandhi today, you're in a very, very difficult position because not just that you have been losing elections one after the other, you don't have an answer to what is the Congress's biggest problem. And then you protest on Adani, you protest using an empty Samvidhan, but nothing works for you. You know, even in the parliament, your own allies are calling you out. They don't like the fact that you have been failing again and again and again. And they definitely don't like the fact that you have been putting out excuses one after the other. So one bahana to the other, but all bahanas come crashing down. What is the real problem when it comes to Rahul Gandhi and the Congress? That is something that we will put our focus on. All these images on your screens of the man called Rahul Gandhi today will tell you that the Congress today is in a free fall. For whoever said that, this is some kind of a resurgence happening within the Congress today needs a reality check today. Now, what has happened earlier today is that once again, the Congress has approached the Supreme Court. Once again. They've done this time and again. Any results come in and they say, no, we do not accept the results. The EVMs are faulty. Look at the voter turnout. There is something wrong here. They do not accept the verdict. And now they have a problem with the election rules also that have been tweaked. Multiple losses that the Congress has faced over the last many months, and we'll bring up those images also on your screens, will tell you that the problem is something else. The problem is that you fail, but then you do not even accept the fact that you have failed. Has Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party still not accepted the fact that they have lost the 2024 elections? They've lost the Haryana election, they've lost the Maharashtra election. No, they do not accept it. That's the reason why, to cover up at almost every failure, they will reach the Supreme Court. They will put out a new bahana. Now, just take the next few seconds to listen into Congress's Jairam Ramesh, who earlier has told us more of the fact that he's approached the Supreme Court. But again, because they want to undermine the election process. They want you to believe that there is something wrong in the election process. Much like, remember, it used to happen in America where the deep state is wanting to manipulate you. So is the Congress and Rahul Gandhi right now wanting to manipulate voters' mind because the voters do not trust them? Listen into what the Congress has said post every defeat, post every loss, post every rejection.
लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड जो होता है, जो बार बार चुनाव आयोग इस शब्द का इस्तेमाल करता है निशाना बनाकर टारगेटेड तरीके से, ये लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड महाराष्ट्र में बिगाड़ा गया। धक्का मिला है, ये बिल्कुल जरूरी है, पर ये धक्का दिया गया है। कोई षड्यंत्र है कहीं भी हमें हराने का?
So धक्का तो मिला है, लेकिन ये धक्का दिया गया है is what the Congress party says. I think that is the biggest problem. Ladies and gentlemen, before I say good evening to a panel of guests, let's quickly get you the questions today, the questions that have to be asked, the questions that Rahul Gandhi is not willing to ask himself. No one has the courage to go and ask Rahul Gandhi. But we want to ask him up front. For how long will Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party and the entire allies, they will continue to crib about the fact that they have been losing elections? They need to accept that, yes, this is a reality, you've lost an election. Is Rahul Gandhi right now, ladies and gentlemen, just running away from accountability? Does he have any accountability, any responsibility? Time and again, we've, spoken this on the show, that the more you lose elections, the more Rahul Gandhi is being told, oh, you are a leader, you will only lead us. From EVMs to the turnouts, they've questioned everything. They do not even believe your mandate. They say, no. ये जानबूझकर फैसला आया है, ये जानबूझकर इस तरह का रिजल्ट आया है. Why is Rahul Gandhi and the entire Congress constantly, one after the other, undermining the Election Commission of India? What do they get out of this? For a moment, you must think about this. This brings us to our next question. Can Rahul and, everyone else who speaks in the same tone and tenor as Rahul Gandhi deny what the BJP says about the Congress? Now, what the BJP says is that the Congress party, ladies and gentlemen, is elitist, it is dynastic, and it is quote-unquote entitled. Can Rahul Gandhi deny that charge? Can he tell us that his party is not dynastic? Can he tell us that his party is all about cadres? They listen to the cadres. The answer, like they say, is blowing in the winds. This brings us to our next big question that's up on your screens. He's been snubbed by the allies. And that is a real problem. Mamata Banerjee today is all poised to throw Rahul Gandhi out because no one believes in Rahul Gandhi anymore, not even netas of his own party. So the Congress is a parjeevi, is what the Prime Minister has said. And the Congress party today is in a condition of free fall, complete free fall. But who's responsible? Is it Rahul or is it someone else? This brings us to our next question now that's going to go up on our screens. And continuously remember, we've been looking at the fact that the Congress and Rahul Gandhi do not want to take accountability. Let's say good evening to our panel of guests joining us. We have Charu Pragya, who's the national spokesperson of the BJP on the show. Also a pleasure to have Professor Jyotsna, who represents the TDP on the panel. Monojit Mandal is a political analyst. He does lean towards the Trinamool. I do not know why Monojit is looking so upset. Also a pleasure to have Akashdeep Muni, who's a political analyst. He does lean towards the Aam Aadmi Party that is fighting for elections in Delhi. But they say we do not need Rahul Gandhi. But the man of the moment is Sanjay Jha, who's a noted author. And he has a history with the Congress. Sanjay, I remember you have written a book called India in Free Fall. It's time for you to write your next book, Congress in Free Fall, Sanjay. When are you writing that?
Deepti, good evening, and to my fellow panelists, and wishing everybody a very happy Christmas. I have only two questions, and I think they need to be answered by the opposition or those who support them. Why was it necessary to change the selection of the election commission itself? The entire organization of the election commissioners. Why was the constitution of that changed by this government? Why was an independent Chief Justice of India removed and a minister, a cabinet minister of the government of the executive incorporated? That to me is the fundamental exposure of the intent of the Narendra Modi government. Point number one.
Sanjay, what about the problems that the man called Rahul Gandhi brings? Has Rahul Gandhi been accountable? Has he been held responsible, Sanjay? You've worked in the party. Sanjay, it's time for you to call out a spade, to deal with the elephant in the room.
Yeah, so I'm going to call a spade and a shovel. And I'm going to tell you something that I think we need to be very honest about. The discussion on Indian democracy is far greater than a Rahul Gandhi or a Narendra Modi. I'm telling you, individuals don't matter. Political parties will win and go. Governments will be formed and they will collapse or they'll get defeated. India is forever. But when you see a brazen debilitation of India's institutions being done in broad daylight, you and I need to be worried.
No, Sanjay, I hate to come in here, but I must tell you something. Between 2013 to 2022, I was just reading up and I just read Monojit and Akashdeep, the number of times that Congress and its related allies, Charu and Jyotsna ji, have approached the courts for EVMs. I mean, it's time we end that debate, no, Sanjay? It's time we end that debate. We cannot manipulate the voters' mind beyond a point. In nine cases, the order got delivered, and in all cases, the court did not see any merit in what the Congress has been crying, Sanjay. There is a real problem.
Deepti, I want to tell you one thing before my friends come in. I have to salute Arvind Kejriwal, who may be a political opponent of the Congress at times, but is part of the India Alliance, in calling out the voter suppression that is happening in Delhi. I mean, I don't think the EVM comes at a later stage. My biggest worry is the way the Election Commission is actually deleting people's roles and in a great number of ways influencing the final outcome.
Sanjay, have you heard the response from the Election Commission? Because this is good. Akashdeep, for a change, Sanjay is thinking like Rahul Gandhi. He is thinking like the Congress party. You do not want to do business with the, Congress party anymore, Akashdeep. But the point is, before an election, are you preempting something? I see Arvind Kejriwal also raising almost similar bogeys like the Congress has raised. If you believe that Arvind Kejriwal is different, there are no charges of corruption against him, I mean, go to the voter, no? The voter will decide.
Deepti ji, I will bring some facts onto the table. Now, Centre amended rule number 93 of the Conduct of Election Rules 1961 to limit public access of CCTV camera and webcast footages. Now, when this amendment was made, the timing is important, Deepti ji. Amendment was made after Punjab and Haryana High Court directed the Election Commission to supply videography CCTV footage related to voting poll during the Haryana election. to Mahmood Paracha, which the EC opposed.
So what are you alluding? What is your charge? Akashdeep, what is your charge?
It need not to share.
Charu, allow me a moment. Akashdeep, what is your charge?
My charge is that the integrity of Election Commission has been brought down by the center.
So do you trust the EVMs or you don't trust the EVMs? Tell me this. Does the Aam Aadmi Party trust the EVMs or not? You've recently won by-polls in Punjab, no? Have you won them or not? On the same EVMs?
It's all about that the way Bharatiya Janata Party want to manipulate.
Imagine आप जीत जाएंगे तो सब बढ़िया है. अगर कोई और जीत जाता है, आप लोग हार जाते हैं, तो there is manipulation. You can't play both ways, no, Akashdeep.
दिल्ली में 35,000 वोट है.
अच्छा.
35,000 वोट में से 586 वोट अरविंद केजरीवाल ने दिखाया कि इनका वोटिंग राइट्स को निकाला गया. And they are not Rohingyas. They are not Bangladeshis. They are Indians staying in Delhi for 60 long years. So what you are doing is that you are removing names of the voters who would be polling for the Aam Aadmi Party.
How do you know this? How do you know what a voter is going to do? That's exactly my question. No, see between Sanjay Jha and Akashdeep, Jyotsna ji and Charu, allow me another a few minutes. I want to get Monojit. Monojit is literally spliced between these two gentlemen, and Monojit hates every word of what both of them are saying. Monojit, do you trust the EVMs? Does Mamata Banerjee trust the EVMs or not? Tell me. What has Abhishek Banerjee said about this? What has Omar Abdullah said? Omar Abdullah told the Congress in as many words, Monojit, that the Congress should stop fighting elections.
On an extremely lighter note, Deepti, you are a friend. I believe you are becoming a new Freudian psychoanalyst every other day.
Imagine.
To read minds of people that I am against this person
Monojit.
and that person. I am depressed. But
See?
so not
Name calling,
I
manipulation,
really admire your
condescending tone.
No. I'm just, this is on a lighter note. No manipulation, no condescending. This is just a joke. Merry Christmas. I'm wishing you to all my friends and even my political opponents. And that's why this joke is a good one. Let me tell you this. The BJP does not ever believe in the fundamentals of Indian democracy. They don't believe in the ancestors of Indian democracy, starting from Ramakrishna Paramahansa Tagore to Mahatma Gandhi to Baba Saheb Ambedkar. Look what they have done to the principal architect of the Constitution of India. I do not need to talk about that. That's such a shame, such a disgrace when someone in such a high rank, insulting Baba Saheb from within the confines of the parliament. Similarly, these rules, you don't want people to access to CCTVs, to electronic documents, to the voting records. Come on, what are you scared of? Deepti, let me tell you, you have all those, the nominated members like the governor of West Bengal who has insulted the convocation of Jadavpur University today itself. I'm sitting here. He wanted to scuttle the process of degree awarding ceremony to thousands of students. That's BJP's way of functioning democracy in this country. Okay. They are functioning through ED, CBI, income tax. Now they are trying to capture this constitutional body by sitting there, a hand-picked lackey of their own.
Monojit, tell me something, because both the ladies haven't spoken. I need to get to them.
Supreme Court
Monojit, do you trust the EVMs? Do you trust the EVMs? The recent by-polls that Mamata Banerjee has swept in Bengal.
Look, this EVM war was raged first by BJP. Mr. Arun Jaitley, Sushma Swaraj and GVL Narasimha Rao.
You're not answering my question, Monojit.
It was led by LK Advani. There are suspicions. I won't answer in yes and no formula, Deepti. This is not a courtroom, right?
Life is all about being honest and upfront, no?
This is not a courtroom.
You must be honest. Like you told Rahul Gandhi, you need to step aside. Mamata Banerjee should be the
I'm honestly answering.
Why can't you tell me whether EVMs can be trusted or not?
I am saying very, very categorically. There are suspicions and these suspicions must be dispelled with by the Election Commission of India. But point is that when the Election Commission of India itself become a compromised institution, as alleged to be, then who dispels
Alleged by whom? Alleged by whom? By the opposition that loses election?
Fundamentals of Indian democracy.
Alleged by the opposition that loses election. But you know, Charu, let's ask you the question. Okay, Charu.
I am saying...
Charu, what is the problem? Why do you want to tinker with these rules as the opposition is alleging? Why do you have a problem if the public inspects certain electronic documents like CCTV cameras and webcasting footages? Why are you against this?
Deepti, good evening. Let me begin by reminding everyone of the magnitude of Indian elections. 96 crore people go for voting. 1.2 crore personnel are deployed. We have around 12 lakh polling stations. This is the largest election in the world, and it is all credits to the Election Commission of India that this election happens every 5 years, and then I'm not even counting the local elections and the state elections. In spite of this, in recent years, we have seen the opposition move the court, and the last time there was a very lengthy process to it. 23 political parties together moved the Supreme Court against the EVMs, or other, various little reasons these complaints were made, and so much of misinformation has been spread about the process of our elections, which I believe is sacrosanct. A lot of work goes into conducting these elections. So political parties or political leaders, just because they have lost an election, is it fair that they cast aspersions
Charu,
on all these officials?
Why do you want to tweak the rules? Why do you have a problem with transparency?
I'm coming to that. So,
yes.
Deepti, there is no problem with transparency. It's just that when random people have access to records, they can alter it, modify it, maybe use AI generated image and create a lot of false information. We have seen it happen time and time again. This has never happened more than a decade ago. This level of distrust that the opposition is trying to create in our electoral process never existed before. Let me also say that there is limit to public access. Tomorrow, if a candidate has a problem or a complaint has been made, it's not like there is no access available. The courts will have access, investigative agencies will have access. It's just that we want to cut down on the flow of misinformation, which is casting aspersions on our flawless electoral process. And I have a problem with these parties. When they win an election, they have no issues. They have no qualms. But when they lose an election,
I know Sanjay wants to come in, but I have to get Jyotsna ji here. Limited time on the show. Now, Jyotsna ji, people are also asking that not very long ago, you were doing business with the same Congress party, that you will today call out names and you will say, oh, Rahul Gandhi is not fit to lead the entire opposition. But truth be told, you've also done business with the Congress, no?
See, Deepti ji, yes, definitely in 2018 elections, we fought along with Congress in the state of Telangana as well. So I'm not denying that point. But I think now the point of discussion for us is about the amendments that were, supported and trying to be brought in. First thing, Deepti ji, I think elections, as far as my knowledge goes and as far as I would want to put it, elections are about integrity, just not transparency. I think I should very clearly say that. Elections are about integrity, just not merely, we can just say transparency is the only key. We also have to think about the integrity of the system there. And we have to safeguard both integrity and transparency we have to safeguard. And here, Deepti ji, as you said, you were with Congress earlier or now you are not. Deepti ji, if you remember not long back ago, if I remember, they said EVMs are bahut badhiya hai. Now they say, no, we don't want EVMs. They took a U-turn saying that we don't want EVMs. They win in Telangana, they say EVMs are bhesh. They are absolutely working and we won with people's power in the state of Telangana. They lose in Maharashtra, they say EVMs ne pura, everything has gone wrong because of EVMs and there is some ghotala that is happening. So I think they have to stick to one particular stand there. And here, there are a couple of points I would want to bring to your notice, Deepti ji. One thing is, when we talk about these amendments, our primary concerns, there are 4 primary concerns for us. One, preventing misuse. Second one, security and privacy. Third one, maintaining election integrity. And fourth and most important is, I would also want to bring in a comparative analysis. When I say a comparative analysis, If you remember, Deepti ji, I think Congress-led government itself, a couple of times they have made certain, changes, and they have tried to introduce certain rules with regard to election conduct and all those particular things. So,
yes.
I don't know why Congress has been so selective now.
Okay. I just have limited time. Sanjay Jha, when are you writing Congress in free fall? You have enough matter. See, everyone has spoken so much on Congress in free fall.
Deepti, I want to tell your viewers and some of your very disingenuous panelists who spoke before me, everyone saw what happened in Chandigarh, where in broad daylight there was an attempt to actually create corruption in the counting of ballots when the mayor was being elected, and the BJP was behind it. And the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India said, this is a murder of democracy. Okay. How shameless can the BJP and its allies be that they still defend it?
See, Sanjay, that is one part of the story, but the other part of the story is also the man and the problem called Rahul Gandhi. Will you accept this or not? I let the people decide, Sanjay. From your heart, I'm sure, you agree with a lot we've discussed over the course of these last many weeks. Jyotsna ji, apologies, I've completely run out of time. But I'm thanking both the ladies and all three gentlemen for joining us. We'll continue to track that story and see what is the new bahana that Rahul Gandhi and the Congress comes up with on the other side. Back with more.